first. With a retroverted uterus, when it tips south like that, when we first look with, especially a transvaginal probe, never fails. When you insert these probes, the uterine muscle, which is all this myometrial, all this gray tissue, goes, tightens up. So the contents of the sac is kind of hard to see, but the picture will improve after a few minutes as all that muscle tissue relaxes. So at first what I'm going to do is just measure this gestational sac, and I'm getting 5 weeks, 5 days, so we're really on the fence if we're going to see an embryo today. I see something. See that little flicker there?
Yeah.
It's twinkling. Looks like a telltale fetal heart motion to me. Whether I'm going to get a Doppler signal or not, I guess that depends on how steady I can hold my hand, even to the millimeter. But I do see fetal heart motion, sweetie. Picking it up, though, may be another thing entirely. See that? That's definitely fetal heart motion. First, let's measure that little embryo, which right now looks just like a speck. So, first one says 6 weeks, 0 days. If you were a day or two earlier, I probably wouldn't even be able to spot it. They grow about 1 millimeter a day, so even a day or two makes a big difference. Let's see if I can get a signal yet. Color Doppler. Not with color, but still might be able to pick it up. Okay, well in the meantime, let's do 2 more crown to rump lengths, and that'll give us the average crown rump length, and that's what we'll base our due date on. That one says 6 weeks, 2 days. Baby must have stretched. Okay, try one more. So we have a live one here. This last one says 6 weeks, 1 day. So what do they all average out? Oh, I see what we're doing. Whenever you measure the gestational sac diameter in this machine's count program or calculations, it tries to average that in with the crown rump length. So what I'm going to do, now that we have spotted an embryo, is get rid of that. And then those crown rump lengths average 6 weeks, 1 day, with a due date of the 30th of November. So whether you're going to be still pregnant on Thanksgiving, 2% of all babies, I think, land on their due dates. About roughly 2%. Alright, so let's see if I can get any fetal heart tones yet here. I can see them, but this, if I can't record them today, it'll be up to Dr. Einhaus. She may want you to stop back in maybe in a week. Oh, hang on. 2 sacs.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I figured it'd be at
2 sacs. So, hang on just a sec. Let me treat this a little differently because I got to enter this differently. Okay. 1, 2. This one, you can see the yolk sac definitely. Oh, look at that. There's the second embryo. I need to label these, so hang on just a sec. So we got blinkers in each one. I'm going to call this twin A. Now I'm going to call this twin B. Why? Because actually I can call this A. Theoretically, the way we go A and B is the sac closest to your cervix. In other words, theoretically, if you're going to deliver tomorrow, which of course we don't want you to do, twin A would be the one first out. So that's how that works. And let's see if this will. Okay, so yeah, I did the measurements. Now I'm just trying to get fetal heart tones. Then I'll go over to B and check that baby out. This early, with your uterus being so retroverted, I doubt we're going to get a Doppler pattern of any that's measurable, but I will try. Try to tell you what, take a breath in, big one, and hold it as long as you can. And then when you need to breathe, don't wait on me, just go ahead and breathe. Yeah, go ahead and breathe, and we'll try that again. I need to be right on it. Okay, so take a breath in again, and hold it as long as you can stand it. breathe. So little. Okay, try that again. Okay, let me find it again. There it is. Okay, go ahead, breathe. There's a little traceable pattern there, believe it or not. And this measures 132 beats per minute, which is quite decent for this early. So good. We can say we got recordable fetal heart tones. I will make a copy. This is Twin A's stat sheet here with the due date. And I need to print that for me. And then we'll go over to B. And then check out baby B, which, there we go. So now I'm just going to switch this over to B. And check it out. So second sac, hiding under that first sac.
I think
There's
that's
a
what
nice yolk sac there. And I see another blinker there. Whether we can get that fetal heart tone to record is the question. I can see it. Yeah, let's measure first and then I'll do the hold your breath thing. So I'll measure. We can all, I think, in the room see that little flicker. So crown to rump with the baby B is 6 weeks, 0 days, first time. Let's do another one. I'm going to do 3 total. Babies at this early age, I mean, they're just like a grain of rice. This is the yolk sac here, that circle. Which early on, the little stalk that attaches the embryo to its yolk sac is really, really short. So the babies are somewhat superimposed, like over one edge, and that's normal. Alright, so last crown rump length, 6 weeks, 1 day. Let's see if we can get some fetal heart tones with this baby. So what I want you to do is take that breath in again. Hold it as long as you can tolerate it while everything moves when you breathe. So let's see if I can find it again. There it is. Alright, breathe and relax. And yay. So this is the better pattern here. This is 122 beats per minute, which is still okay. Alright, so baby B's stats look like this. Same due date, measuring 6 weeks, 1 day as well. Print one of these for you. Okay. One for me. Oh, come on. Are you kidding? I'm going to have paper up. I guess I am. I'll refill that and print that for you here as soon as I refill my tray. Just remind me that's A's. So, you see any more sacks?
We only transferred 2. So.
Okay, well you got 2. And they're each, the good news is they're each in their own sac. Each has its own yolk sac, which is wonderful. That's the best way to have twins, the safest way. There's always a higher risk with twins, but when they're in the same sac, sharing the same yolk sac, means they're also going to share the same placenta. And that's bad. When there's no dividing membrane between the babies. I don't know if we're going to be able to show these equally as well, but I can show the 2 sacs here. But it's hard to show the contents of the sacs, especially at this early age. Oh, I keep forgetting I don't have paper in that tray. So hang on, I'm going to put this down for a minute. It may slip out, do not worry. But if I don't refill this, you won't get any of those nice